Just under a year ago, I was completely lost. No direction, no results, just one burning question. How do I make my first $100,000 online? I knew AI was going to be big and I wanted to hop on while it was still somewhat early, but I had no idea what I was doing. I started selling all sorts of automations, or at least I tried selling all sorts of automations I thought people wanted, jumping from idea to idea, hoping something would eventually stick, and it didn't. I wasted months building workflows no one cared about, pitching services no one wanted to buy. At one point, I seriously questioned whether this whole AI automation thing was even worth it, but then something clicked for me. I finally figured out what businesses actually wanted, how to package it into an offer they couldn't ignore, and how to systemize the entire process. And now I am on track to generate 7 figures in 2025, and I'm helping others do the same. So before I get into things, a very quick plug. Inside my school community, I break all of this down in even more detail with ready-to-use end-to-end workflows, business SOPs, and direct access to me and others building the same thing. Watching this video alone will already help you skip months of trial and error, but if you want to shortcut your success even further, having access to everything inside the community will seriously kickstart your progress. All right, enough self-promo. Let's get into the good stuff. So in this video, I'm going to break down the exact plan I wish I had when I started, the one that will help you skip the failures, avoid the dead ends, and get you to 6 figures faster. When I first got into AI automation, I thought success was just a matter of finding a cool tool, automating a few tasks, and businesses would come running to buy. I couldn't have been more wrong. I wasted months building automations that I thought were valuable, only to realize that most businesses don't care about automation itself, they care about results. And that is why most people will never hit 6 figures. They focus on the wrong things, chase random trends, or sell solutions that don't solve real problems. So, in this video, I'm going to give you the exact plan I wish I had when I started. We'll break down why most people fail and how to avoid those same mistakes. I'll show you the step-by-step process to go from 0 to 6 figures, and by the end, you'll have a clear roadmap to start executing today. Now, let me be real with you. This isn't some overnight success formula. It is not step 1, step 2, step 3, and boom, you're rich. It requires effort, learning, and execution. But if you follow the plan, you'll skip months, maybe even years of trial and error and get to 6 figures way faster than I ever did. Most people never hit those 6 figures because they start with the wrong skill. When I got into AI automation, I assumed businesses would pay just because automation was cool and efficient. I built workflows, automated follow-ups, data scrapers, even chatbots, thinking they'd sell themselves, but nothing really happened. The reason: not all skills are high income skills. Some, like branding or video editing, are convenience-based, nice to have, but not directly tied to revenue. Others, like lead generation or paid ads, are results-based. They make businesses more money. I was stuck selling convenience. Businesses don't pay for automation itself. They pay for more leads, sales, and profit. Instead of saying, I can automate your email outreach, I started saying, I can build an AI-powered cold email system that books you 10 plus sales calls per month on Autopilot. The first one sounds like a feature. The second one is a growth system. Once I made that shift myself, everything changed. Instead of offering automation, I started selling client acquisition systems. Instead of pitching chatbots, I positioned them as AI-driven sales assistants that nurture leads and close more deals. If you want to make real money, focus on skills that directly impact a business revenue. AI and automation are extremely powerful, but only when they solve a real business problem. And that brings us to the next mistake: picking the wrong market. Because even if you have the right skill, one that directly impacts revenue, you'll struggle if you're selling to the wrong people. Early on, I pitched automation to anyone who would listen. Small business owners, freelancers, even people with no real need for automation. They either didn't care or they couldn't afford. Your earning potential isn't just about what you sell, it is about who you sell it to. Take AI-powered lead generation. If you offer it to a freelance graphic designer, they might think, sounds cool, but I don't even have a sales team. Offer it to a B2B recruitment agency that depends on outbound sales to land high-ticket clients, and they'll want it immediately. Some markets value your skills more, and those are the ones willing to pay premium prices. The best markets have money, urgency, and a clear need for what you offer. If they don't have the budget, they won't pay well. And if there's no urgency, they'll say maybe later. And if there's no clear need, you'll waste time convincing them why they should care. Once I started targeting B2B companies already investing in outbound sales, everything changed. They didn't need to be convinced that lead generation mattered. They just needed to see why my system was the best option. That brings us to the next big mistake. How you position your offer. Most people struggle to close deals because they focus on what they do instead of what the client gets. When I first started, I pitched automation like this. I built AI-powered workflows that automate lead generation and follow-ups. Sounds nice, but no one cared. I was selling the process instead of the result. Now compare that to I help B2B agencies book 10 plus qualified sales calls per month on Autopilot using AI-powered email and LinkedIn outreach. The first version talks about the surface, the second one talks about the outcome. Businesses don't care about automation. I can't stress it enough. They care about more leads, more sales, and eventually more profit. If you focus on how you do things, you'll lose them. If you focus on what they gain, they'll be hooked. This simple shift changed everything for me. Instead of selling automation, I positioned it as a sales growth system. Instead of offering AI chatbots, I would frame them as AI sales assistants that increase conversion rates. The lesson here is pretty simple. Don't sell the process, sell the destination. If you can clearly communicate how your service helps a business make more money, closing deals becomes effortless. Now that you understand how to choose the right skill, find the right market, and position your offer, let's break down the exact step-by-step plan to turn this into a six-figure business. Most people overcomplicate this. They think they need some groundbreaking idea or a perfect niche before they can even start making money. But in reality, every business starts with just one thing, a skill. If you want to build a six-figure AI automation business, you need to start by choosing a high income skill. Not all skills are created equal. Some skills, no matter how good you are at them, will never make you serious money. Others have huge demand and allow you to charge premium prices. So, how do you choose the right one? There are only two things that matter. It must be high income. This means businesses are willing to pay thousands for it because it directly impacts revenue. AI-powered lead generation, cold outreach, paid ads, and sales automations are great examples. Second thing is it must be transferable. This means you can apply it to different industries and business models, so you aren't locked into one specific niche forever. When I first started, I wasted months experimenting with random automations that weren't solving real business problems. But once I picked a high income skill that businesses actually needed, everything seemed to change. If you are not sure what skill to choose, focus on something that helps businesses make money or save time at scale. AI-powered sales systems, automated lead generation, and outbound email automation are all great places to start. Once you have that locked in, the next step is figuring out what problem your skill actually solves, because without a problem, there is no demand. Businesses don't pay for skills, they pay for solutions to problems. If you want to build a six-figure business with AI and automation, you need to solve a real, painful, and very urgent problem that companies are actively looking to fix. For lead generation, that problem is clear. Most businesses struggle to get consistent qualified leads. Cold outreach is broken for most companies. They send out generic emails that get ignored, waste time chasing leads that will never buy, and when they finally book calls, the prospects often aren't even qualified. This means wasted time, missed opportunities, and ultimately lost revenue. That is where AI-powered automation changes the game. Instead of relying on outdated manual prospecting, this system takes care of the entire cold outreach process: finding leads, enriching data, personalizing messages, automating follow-ups, and nurturing leads until they're ready to hop on a call. Let's break down exactly how it solves key problems businesses face. First, this lead scraping workflow. It finds leads with clear buying intent. Most lead lists are built by scraping generic databases like Apollo or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which often means you reach out to people who may not even be looking for a solution. Instead, this system you see on screen targets people who are actively searching for ways to solve their pain points. It does so by scraping job boards from LinkedIn, so you can find companies hiring for SDRs, meaning they're already investing in sales and likely open to a system that delivers more leads with less overhead. You can also easily adapt or tweak this workflow to scrape platforms like clutch.io, so you can identify businesses actively looking for more clients, making them far more likely to be receptive to a lead generation system that you offer. On to the second workflow, which qualifies and enriches the lead so you can send out personalized emails. This workflow personalizes outreach at scale. One of the biggest reasons cold email fail is because they sound generic. AI-powered data scraping pulls in relevant information about each lead, allowing you to create hyper-personalized cold emails automatically instead of a boring templated pitch. Every email feels like it was written specifically for that person, leading to higher reply rates and more engaged prospects. Lastly, you can also, of course, build automated follow-up and reply systems. Timing is everything in sales. Most deals are won by the business that follows up the fastest. This system automatically sends follow-ups at the right intervals and even handles responses in real time, keeping the conversation going without manual effort. The result: higher response rates and more booked calls. Finally, it nurtures leads all the way to the sales call. Booking a meeting isn't enough. Most companies struggle with no-shows and unqualified prospects. You can easily build a workflow that warms up leads with automated touchpoints, so by the time they hop on a call, they're already interested and pre-qualified. No more wasting time on calls with people who were never serious in the first place. The result is a fully automated, high-converting sales pipe. Businesses don't just get more leads, they get better leads, more responses, and higher show-up rates. And because everything, as I showed you, can run on automation, they can focus on closing deals instead of chasing cold prospects. The biggest shift in my business happened when I stopped selling automation as a service and started selling a lead generation system that guarantees results. That is what businesses care about: more booked calls, more conversions, and more revenue. Once you've identified the problem your skill solves, the next step is to turn it into a solution businesses will pay for. The key here is pretty simple: bridge the gap between the problem and the desired results. Most businesses don't have a lead problem because they lack effort. They have a lead problem because their outreach isn't effective. They're sending cold emails that don't convert, relying on outdated lead lists, or manually following up in a way that isn't scalable. What you are selling isn't just automation. You're selling a done-for-you outbound sales system that guarantees more booked calls, better leads, and a hands-free approach to cold outreach. And the best part is, if you've identified multiple pain points businesses have around lead generation, you now have multiple angles to sell your service. For example, one client might care most about personalization at scale because their current outreach feels too generic, while another might care about higher show-up rates because their team is wasting time on no-show calls. By understanding these different problems, you can tweak your messaging to appeal to different types of businesses, all while offering the same core service. Once you've built your service around solving a real problem, the next step is choosing the right market to sell it to. The same thing as for skills, not all markets are created equal. Even if you have the best lead generation system in the world, you won't make real money unless you're selling it to the right people. A profitable market has three key factors. First, you should understand the industry or have at least some level of understanding of the industry you're selling into. Selling to a market you know, even at a basic level, makes everything much easier. If you've worked with B2B service providers before, you already know their pain points. If you have experience in SaaS, you understand how those companies think about growth. The more familiar you are with an industry, the faster you'll be able to sell into it. Second, the market must have a clear demand. Some businesses don't rely on outbound sales at all, while others live and die by cold outreach. The best markets for these services are B2B businesses that already invest in outbound sales because they understand the importance of getting more leads. Agencies, recruiters, software companies, and consulting firms all fall into this category. Third, the market must have the budget to pay. If the business can afford to hire a sales team, they can afford to pay for a system that books sales calls for them. That is why industries like recruitment, high-ticket consulting, and software sales are ideal. These businesses depend on high-value deals, meaning even a small increase in book calls is worth a lot to them. When I first started, I wasted time selling to small businesses that either didn't have the budget or didn't rely on outbound sales enough to care. But once I shifted my focus to B2B companies that actively depend on lead generation, selling became so much easier. Picking the right market isn't just about finding people who could use your service. It is about finding people who need your service, understand its value, and can afford to pay for it. Once you've chosen a profitable market, the next step is turning your service into an irresistible offer that makes it a no-brainer for them to say yes. Because having a great service isn't enough. You need to package it so businesses immediately see the value and feel like they'd be missing out if they don't work with you. Most people fail because they focus on what they do instead of what the client gets. A weak offer sounds like, I built cold outreach automations. It is fake, it doesn't highlight the end result, and it forces the prospect to figure out why they should care. A strong offer is direct and outcome focused. I help B2B agencies book 10 plus qualified sales calls per month on Autopilot using AI-driven cold outreach. The first version describes a process. The second describes a result. Businesses don't care about automation. They care about more calls, more deals, and more revenue. To create an irresistible offer, combine your skill, the problem you solve, and the solution you provide into a clear, outcome-driven state. Instead of saying, I build automation workflows for cold outreach, say, I help high-ticket service providers automate outbound sales and book 20 plus calls per month with ready-to-buy leads. Your offer should be so clear and results-driven that prospects immediately see the impact. If it doesn't grab attention, it won't convert. Once you have a compelling offer, the next step is getting it in front of the right leads. Finding leads is the easiest part of this entire process because you can use the exact same system you plan to sell for yourself. If your service helps businesses automate their outbound sales, then you should be using outbound automation to land your own clients. Start by identifying who needs your service. These are typically B2B companies that rely on outbound sales, as I said, like agencies, recruiters, or software firms. Once you have your ideal market, scrape and build a lead list just like you would for a client. Use platforms like LinkedIn, job boards, and business directories to pull in high-intent leads, the same strategy you will be offering as a service. Next, launch your outreach campaigns. Whether it's cold email, LinkedIn DMs, or Twitter networking, the system should already be built into your process. Since you're selling lead generation, your own results serve as proof of how well it works. If you're not landing calls using your own system, why would a client trust it? Once you have leads in the pipeline, the next step is turning them into paying clients. Sales is simple when you approach it the right way. Your job is to show your prospect that they have a problem, that you have the solution, and that the value of your service far exceeds what they're paying. Most businesses already know that outbound sales can work, but they struggle with execution, like bad targeting, weak messaging, and no consistency. That is where you come in. Instead of selling automation or workflows, sell the result, a system that books them sales calls while they focus on closing deals. The better you communicate this, the faster you scale. If you struggle with sales, the best solution is practice. Every call and every email is a chance to refine your pitch. But once you get good at it, selling becomes effortless because businesses already need what you offer. This framework works. It is straightforward, proven, and built entirely on logic. Yet most people will hear this, nod their heads, and do nothing with it. The truth is, execution is the only thing that matters. You don't need more research, more overthinking, or another week of getting ready. You have everything you need to start building your AI-powered lead generation system today. And to make it even easier, every end-to-end workflow I've shown in this video, along with all the business SOPs I've developed, are available for download inside my school community. These are the exact systems I use to automate lead generation, handle follow-ups, and scale my outreach, so you don't have to build everything from scratch. If you're serious about this, take action now. Start by choosing a high income skill, identifying a real business problem, and packaging it into an irresistible offer. Then use the same system you plan to sell to start generating leads and clients. For more details, check out my other videos where I break down each of these workflows in depth, but at the end of the day, information is useless without execution. The only way to make this work is to start. I want to thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.